here. I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. Now, the first meeting that we'll be having is a zoning board of adjustment, and then it should be brief, and then we'll move right into the regular city council meeting. The time that I have is 6:32 p.m. This is Tuesday, October 13th, 2015. And if you could all please stand for the invocation. Thank you so much. Lord God, grant us your wisdom in these endeavors, for our own is insufficient. Lend us your grace, O Lord, so that we may treat each other in a manner that's pleasing to you. And we praise you, Lord, for all of our trials and all of the good things that we learn through. In the name of the one who has saved us for your kingdom, in Christ's holy name we pray. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. All right, and as I said earlier, this is a zoning board of adjustment with just one, two items on it. They both are the same property. I need to tell you that when I read these descriptions on these zoning boards of adjustment, there's a legal, a legal description of a property that when you read it out loud, it doesn't make any sense off. There's a lot of gobbledygook in it. Sometimes in random places they'll throw in the initials of a surveyor or someone, so it doesn't always make sense. But twice in this hearing, I'm going to read the same item. And so, item number 4 is conduct a public hearing regarding a request by the owner/agent of the property situated in the city of Van Alstyne, county of Grayson, state of Texas, being described as Pines West Side, Section 2, RPLT number 2 and 3, Block 3, Block 9, more commonly known as 703 West Jefferson Street, for a variance to the city's comprehensive zoning ordinance, Section 24.11.5, to allow for the placement of a fence in a residential district that is in excess of 8 feet in height. The property is currently zoned single-family residential 1, or SF1. I've looked at this property and I suspect that the reason the owner wants to raise this fence is because he looks right on into the backside of the new Golden Chip restaurant. I imagine that's why he wants to do this. First, are there any public questions or comments about this item? Yes, sir. Okay. Was I right?
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Tim Summers. My name is Tim Summers. I've lived there for about 5 years now, 5.5 years, and we were aware that we backed up to the commercial, some industrial zone, no doubt about it. We knew we were doing there. Something to put back there. The only thing that we're asking is for the privacy. I've got some pictures here, I'm sure. When I walk out my back door, I can see their both drive-through windows. I can see the drive-through itself. They're very, very close. There's not much I want to do about the smell or the sand on it or any of that, but a little privacy is all we're asking for me and my family. So then it's going to be a wood fence. It's going to be somewhere to my neighbors, which both of them I've talked to, and they're in complete agreement with it. They have no problem with it. They're for it. They don't blame it at all. It's directly right behind my house. Kind of all set to my neighbors. But that's it. I want to be a good neighbor. I don't want to have any issues at all. I have no problem at all. I've never even actually been to one of the meetings where I kind of overflow. Not much we're going to do to stop it, but that's all. Just a little bit of privacy. Can I show you the picture? Are you guys interested in seeing the picture?
Yes, sir.
Council?
And while we're looking at those, I need to ask 2 times, are there any other public questions or comments about this item?
I'm not actually his former neighbor, and look right back at the Bronx. And there's beyond just the look, there's a lot of lighting there. I was fortunate enough to have Bronx a little shade on, but I think the lighting is also a major issue over there, and I can't see why you wouldn't want to put. I mean, I actually extended mine a little bit in a few areas, so I definitely concur with him on that.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Questions I have are, one, what height fence then do you want? 10 foot, okay. Are you talking about just across the back, or are you talking about the sides too, and the front?
Right now, just the back.
So what your,
That's the only
the
thing.
variance is just for the back, not for the sides, or, okay? And say it'd be, have they ever planted the bushes yet that are, they were supposed to plant some big tall bushes, right? Weren't they?
Yes, sir, they haven't completed that.
They have completed that?
They haven't completed
They haven't completed, so that might, I mean, that might help eventually.
They told us that it was hedges, what they're gonna put in, $300 big hedges, and I wasn't at the last meeting, my
Yeah.
neighbor Bull Reynolds was, and Mr. Loftus, both of them said, they said, big $300 hedges, they're live oaks, they're 3 inches at the base, they're live oaks, and it'll probably be 20 years trying to get it.
I was just wondering if they had done it.
Yeah, they planted live oaks.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, this is not what they told city council. Yeah, you're right, they're live oaks, and they're supposed to be full screen.
Yeah, it was supposed to be bushes.
It's supposed to
So
be,
that's what we understood too.
it's supposed to be a mix of photinias, evergreens, and I thought live oaks were also going to be incorporated.
All they got right now is live oaks.
And they haven't called for the final punch list, so engineering will make sure that they have everything stated.
So it's the city's intent to have to open to the.
Yes, sir. They asked for the variance on the green screen, they're going to put it down. So, that's just like any other development, we're going to do exactly what it's doing.
And I don't know if I made a second call, but any others?
I do want to just take it one more thing. It is 9 foot from my fence, so that focus area, and it kind of tapers, so it varies, but 9 feet from my fence to the concrete. It slopes down the whole way. When we had on rain this year, and I know I've spoken to some of the guys from the city who have been to get the problem solved after 3 or 4 months, but everything sloped down. They said the drains will be fixed. Right now, everything is pushed out. Where before my yard drained off into the field to the ditch out front on the 75. Right now, the water is just, there's no way for it to get out. So when we start getting more rain again, I know it happened last year, there's no way for the water to go. And I don't know if it's something that's going to be addressed later on, if they're not done yet.
They're not done.
Okay, so right now, yeah, the drainage is zero.
I have to say, when I took a look at it, the perspective is different. When you're looking at it from the service road, you really can't tell about the distance between the shape and the houses that are adjacent to it. But looking from the street, from Jefferson Street, through your front and backyard, it looks like it's just right there. It's very close, very close. Third call for any more questions, any comments on this item? And so now we move on to item number 5, which is consider and take any action regarding the same request. Consider and take any action necessary regarding a request by the owner agent of the property situated in the city of Van Alstyne, County of Grayson, state of Texas, being described as Hines West Side, Section 2, RPLT number 2 and 3, numbers 2 and 3, Block 3, Lot 9, more commonly known as 703 West Jefferson Street, for a variance to the city's comprehensive zoning ordinance, Section 24.11.5, to allow for placement of a fence in a residential district that is in excess of 8 feet in height. The property is currently zoned single-family residential district, or SF1.
Quick question, have you talked to anybody on what you're gonna be required on going that extra height, on how deep you're gonna have to go here and stuff.
I haven't talked to him. I work for companies, I'm sure some companies who do a lot of places. I'm gonna do a 3-inch, about 3-inch steel post as opposed to a smaller post. So it's gonna be a steel post as opposed to what's on the right now with the timber. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do my research on it, make sure that with the wind rating and everything, I know it's gonna have to be, it's gonna have 4 runners on that as opposed to 3. So I want this 30 up to be, for sure.
Any more questions, Mr. Baker? Questions?
I have one question about, when we do this, could we do this for all the houses that are along there? Would that be a part of the same thing? or-
I don't think, I think each, my opinion is, we can check with our attorney, but I think each owner would have to.
Have to ask for it
request
individually,
Case by case basis.
unless we go
Because the
back
hard-
and change the zoning.
The hardship has to be demonstrated, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
Anything more, Mr.
that's all.
Do I have a motion?
So, that's a bid request.
Second? Okay, we have Mr. Jaskis made the motion, Mr. Moore has seconded. All in favor? It is unanimous, and so the variance is being granted. And so at this time, it is 6:43 PM, and we're going to move straight on to our regular city council meeting. So we've adjourned the zoning board of adjustment, moving on to city council. Now, and the first thing that we do, there's a call for citizens communication, and we do have a citizens communication. Mr. Rick Burnett of the Department of Service.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor and council members. My name's Rick Burns. I'm with the Public Services. I'm here tonight to actually present a check to keep Van Alstyne beautiful. So that's always good when I get to hand money out instead of ask for money. You guys are a lot nicer to me. So please come up here. It's a $1,000 donation. We're happy to be a partner with the city and with the Keep Van Alstyne Beautiful. So we sure do appreciate you allowing us to be a partner.
Right, and Mr. Womack is the president currently of Keep Van Alstyne Beautiful. She's up here with several members.
Alright, guys. We ready? Yeah. Ready, 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
So is there for all work or they do? Now we have a consent agenda. And there are 4 there are 4 items on the consent agenda. What the consent agenda means is that unless a council member looks at the item and decides that it needs further discussion, then we can pass all 4 at once. And I'm going to read all 4 of the items, and then any of the items need more consideration than the council, any council person will let me know. Item number 4, approval of the minutes from the September 8, 2015 regular meeting, September 21st, 2015, and September 25th, 2015 special call meetings. Item number 5 is consider and take any action necessary regarding the approval of a site plan submitted by Cougar Bay Winery, being 1.002 acres of land described as G-0115 Blundell, WB A-G0115, more commonly as 292 Cartwright Road. And the next item is consider and take any action necessary regarding authorizing the mayor to sign a resolution repealing resolution number 05-2015-01 in support of an application to the Texas Department of Transportation, the 2015 statewide transportation enhancement program to fund the Van Alstyne Bike and Pedestrian Trail. And the last item on the consent agenda is consider and take any action necessary regarding authorizing the mayor to sign a resolution declaring the Van Alstyne Leader a newspaper of record for fiscal year 2016. Is there any further discussion? May I have a motion to pass these 4 items?
Make a motion that we approve as read.
Second. Mr. Jaskis, seconds. All in favor? Mr. Blake, did you have a question?
Well, I think, I just had a question about is the city manager ever recommending the one about?
Yes, sir.
All of them?
Yes, sir. The minutes, unless y'all have an issue with the minutes, please approve the minutes. Cooley Bay Winery, this is following through on the site plan now that council has approved the zoning that was brought before y'all at the last meeting. And then the hike and bike trail, this is moving forward. This is just doing some cleanup procedures on how the application needs to look for the state,
Okay.
for TxDOT. And then the Van Alstyne leader, we want to continue the relationship with our local bank. So that's, staff is recommending all 4. Thank you for asking.
Mr. Blake, would you care to vote?
Yeah, I'll vote for it.
You're in favor? All right, so we are unanimous on the consent agenda. All right. Now moving on to, this is the non-consent agenda. In item number 8 is consider and take any action necessary regarding authorizing the mayor to sign a resolution providing 1 to 5 nominees for the Grayson Central Appraisal District Board. And Mr. Baker, might be the best to brief council.
Yes, Mayor and Council, we have the item 8 on my agenda, and I will articulate exactly what the issue is. Too far. So we have the Mayor received a letter from the Grayson County Central Appraisal District back on September 9th, requesting that reappoint members to the Board of Directors for a term of 2 years, and they cannot be an employed taxing entity unless also serving on the governing body or be an elected official. That's who they're asking for. The taxing units, which Van Alstyne is that, may nominate by resolution adopted by a governing body 1 candidate for each position to be filled on the Board of Directors, or any number from 1 to 5 candidates. All 5 appraisal district board positions are open for appointment. Staff's seeking direction from council regarding their desired representatives to the Grayson County Central Appraisal District Board. Those currently seated on the board are Charlie Williams, which does reside here in Van Alstyne, Brett Graham, Tom Akins, Lynn Mitchison, and Al Zarillian. Nominations must be returned to the chief appraiser before the 15th of this month, and you may, let's see, Sean Coker took the liberty of providing the names of current board of directors, and they want to continue nominating these individuals. He wants you to consider nominating these individuals again, so the Grayson County Central Appraisal District can continue on its path of serving the entities of Grayson County as well as it has. Let's see. If you're looking on the page that Sean Coker, the letter that Sean Coker sent to the mayor, he's calculated the number of votes. If you look at the first paragraph, he's calculated the number of votes to which each eligible taxing entity is entitled according to its proportion of tax levy. All 5 appraisal district board positions are open for appointment, each odd numbered year, thus a total of 5,000 votes allocated among the voting entities. The number of votes that's allocated to Van Alstyne is 38. And looking back at the agenda communication I provided to council 2 years ago, that number was 35 back then, so we've grown by two additional appointment votes. Any other questions, I'd be happy to answer.
In your view, has this board served as well?
I believe they have. Back when Grayson County Appraisal District was in a dilapidated structure, and they were looking for looking to renovate, I believe, an old food line in Sherman. Not only did the appraiser, chief appraiser come and try and articulate the issue, Charlie Williams came and supported her as well. And when she had issues, as far as the questions that the city council had for her, and she was coming under the gun, Charlie Williams did an excellent job of articulating exactly what the issue was and the purpose of putting employees in a safe, sustainable structure versus trying to slug it out in the conditions that they were currently in. I think Charlie Williams is outstanding. I have no reason, if he's willing to sit on the board with these other 4 individuals, I don't believe that he would sit on a board made up of other people that weren't of the same class. So my recommendation would be to move forward on these 5. And if you want to give all the votes to Charlie, Mr. Williams, then you're welcome to do that. If you want to spread them out, do that as well. I don't think that there's going to be a whole lot of, I don't think anybody's going to be appointed that's we're unaware of. I think they're going to continue to move forward with this board.
From what you've seen, are all 5 of these board members, they've been doing a good job?
Again, sir, I don't know him, but I believe Charlie Williams, so I believe it would be a good idea that he's going to stay on board, and the rest of them are going to continue with him, and that would be a good idea.
Are there any questions or comments? Mr. Jackson? Mr. Clay? May I have a motion? Would I be authorized to sign a resolution providing 1 to 5 nominees for the Grayson Central Appraisal District?
Yes, I'll make a motion that we have the Mr. Chairman.
May I have a second? Need a second?
Is that just for Charlie Williams?
That was a
All 38
recommendation.
for Charlie Williams?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Mr. Jasper, second. All in favor of allowing me to sign the resolution nominating Charlie Williams? They are unanimous. So that passes. All right, the next item, number 9, is consider and take any action necessary regarding nominating a person to represent General Lawsuits to serve on the Greater Texoma Utility Authority Board of Directors. That's GTUA. Are there any questions or comments?
Just can you explain what this is about?
Yes, ma'am. GTUA is another board that helps oversee infrastructure, helps to oversee infrastructure issues and projects in our area. They're who we're partnering with on the Texas Water Development Board loans for the pipe bursting and upgrading the sewer line coming out of the industrial park from 3133 all the way up at 121, as well as we're partnering with them on the loan for the water line moving to Dixon Basin, 12,000 feet of 16-inch water line. Their board oversees a number of projects. Typically, they're fairly versed in that field, and we're looking for an appointment recommendation for the small cities. So since we're still under 5,000, we fall under the criteria. Jeannie, former Mayor Gunner, his wife is currently sitting in that seat. So what we're looking for here is council, Jeannie Anderson. Council may choose to reappoint Jeannie Anderson or appoint another qualified person. If you'd like to see a representative directly from Van Alstyne, we just need someone that's currently a resident within the city limits. Mayor had asked me if I knew of anybody. Charlie Williams would be ideal, but Charlie Williams is kind of worded out, is my understanding. I've talked to Mr. McManus to see if there's an engineer, somebody that has technical proficiency to sit on that board that lives in the city. the individual he knows that lives out, actually lives on Lincoln Park, just outside the city, and works for the North Texas Municipal Water District. And so if y'all have somebody in mind, it doesn't necessarily have to be an engineer, but it should be someone that's well versed in finance or engineering as a technical background as far as these types of large projects are concerned. Anything I'm missing, Lynn?
Now, I understand it cannot be a member of the city council.
It shouldn't be. So if you look at the guidelines, the second page, I think that's the reason why it was the mayor's wife that sits on the board, from former Mayor Gunner. Each director, third paragraph, each director must be a qualified voter of the municipality that appoints the director. Also, a director cannot be an officer, employee, or member of the governing body of a municipal corporation. Attached is a nomination form. So it can be anybody but one of you five that sits on the board. So,
Municipal corporation, that would be CDC and ABC.
yes, sir.
So, honestly, I have a neighbor I was going to talk to, I haven't been able to reach him, he's an engineer, but we're going to be looking for someone. We have until, I believe, December 31, to be the final deadline. Well, that's when Ms. Jeannie Anderson's
Term is up.
term is expired, so if we're glad to get a nomination too before then, then we'll be looking. But I
So
don't,
that's my question. My question is, do we need to appoint a specific person?
Yes, ma'am.
eventually, at this time.
At this meeting, you don't currently have to nominate somebody today. The main thing is, since we have the information, to get it out there for y'all to be looking for that person. And that way, if you want to continue with Ms. Anderson, that's fine. But if you wish to appoint somebody specifically from Van Alstyne to represent the small cities, by all means, please let us know. We would like for us to consider for us to
Is this item tabled or just?
it may be tabled.
But is it necessary? Because I think this item, all it does is authorize me to make a nomination.
Well, if you table it, then it will come back on the next agenda.
Okay, so either way.
That way it's a done deal. Sure. As far as making sure that it comes back. So if anybody has anybody in mind right now and you want me to contact them or anything like that, just be tabled, sir.
They have a motion.
Do you have anything else? Sorry.
If we table it, I would like to get qualifications on whoever is presented, even if it's her.
Yes, sir.
Like right now,
You don't know where from that?
I don't know where from that.
Okay. Yes, sir. I can definitely get a background on her. That'd be good. We've got the volunteer form to where we can have somebody fill that out, and that way it gives you a template to go off of. Okay.
Mr. Baker, any questions or comments?
No.
So we have a motion.
I'll move to table it to the next meeting when we have the adequate qualifications to do it.
Yes, sir.
Is there a second? Second. Mr. Moore seconds. All in favor of tabling item number 9? That's unanimous. I'm going to move on to item number 10. Consider and take any action necessary regarding authorizing the cancellation of the non-exclusive distribution agreement between the City of Van Alstyne and the North Texas Tollway Authority, or NTTA. All right, and this was, well, it might be best if you read this on.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Regarding our relationship with North Texas Tollway Authority, I wish I had good news or better news to report regarding our burgeoning relationship with NTTA. In your package, you will find library staff accounts of the trouble we encountered while attempting to issue the 4 texts that we did attempt to issue. Of the 4 attempts, unfortunately, none were successful. The problems were all technical in nature, and while I could go on about the minutia of each problem and what happened with each one, and the lack of support and response from NTTA, I will not save us all a bit of time because really the next item kind of trumps the whole thing. PCI DSS security standards. I didn't know what that meant until the problem that we had. We do not meet the minimum standards for PCI DSS. What that stands for is Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard. This is a proprietary information security standard for organizations that handle credit cards. Library staff are required to take credit card information as payment for toll tags, which means we are required to comply with this security standard. The current library computer system or computer network does not meet the PCI guidelines. In order to do so, we would have to create a new network or VLAN. At present, the same network is used by patrons and library staff alike. Failure to meet the standard opens the city to legal liability. Specifically, we would be held liable for all damages incurred by an individual cardholder in the event of identity theft. The overhead needed to bring the library up to minimum standards far exceeds the potential revenue stream of $5 per toll tag. It's only $5. A generous approximation of 2 tags per month, this equates to a loss of $120 per year. My opinion is that we entered into this contract without the facts at our disposal. The previous library director who started the process was not aware of it, and I did not become aware of it until we were actually in a training session with NTTA, and it was brought to my attention by LaFrancois. I will continue to search for other ways the library can generate revenue that are a better match for us. Our contract with NTTA stipulates that either party can dissolve the contract simply by giving the other a 30-day notice. I request that the council grant permission for us to give notice and dissolve the contract based on these facts.
Mr. Craig? And so regarding may I have a motion regarding authorization to cancel this contract for City of Detroit. Ms. Kelly's made a motion, second. Mr. Craig seconds. All in favor? We are unanimous.
Great. Thank you, Councilman.
And that ends the non-consent agenda. And the next thing, we're not going to have an executive session. It's coming up, so departmental reports.
Jennifer.
Jennifer.
We will have a Planning and Zoning Commission meeting next Wednesday, the 21st, here at 6:30. And they do have a pretty full agenda with several zone changes and plat approvals. And then also that the commission is still accepting applications for anyone interested to serve in 1 open seat and then 2 open, I can't think of the word now.
Positions.
They're
Backup seats?
yeah. Alternate seats, yes, that's it. And then also we're taking applications for openings on the Parks Board as well.
And the CDC.
CDC?
And CDC.
All the very important boards, P&Z, of course, and Parks and Rec, and the CDC. So if you're interested, or you know someone who might be interested, get the word to you. We'll be glad to accept the application.
Courtney?
Thank you.
Nothing to report.
Chief Sal?
Yeah, he said that.
Okay. Go ahead, Lieutenant.
The fire department has officially been awarded a grant through FEMA for a diesel exhaust capture system and a bunker gear extractor, which is used to wash our own gear. We are also finishing up the grant we discussed a couple of months ago for the new bunker gear. Other than that, the re-roof work at the station is going smoothly at this time. We're very happy with the direction the fire department's headed.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Steve?
I will note,
lunch break for council. I didn't notice, Kelly Lane does have no truck zone on the sign set up. Also, the last 3 weeks, we've been in the daily water leaks on a daily, 3 or 4 times a day. We strive to stay care of it as possible.
Thanks, Steve. Judy?
Let's see, library patron traffic is dropping into a more school college pattern, dropping from 1,920 miles to 1,773, 22,360 items circulated. We have 60 meetings with adult patrons for the month of June. September. As patron traffic slows, and my staff and I look to the future to start planning for fall and Christmas programming. With our new staff hours having started in FY 2016, we will be able to offer beginning computer classes and also attend the beautiful to start planning some programs that way. Also, our booth at both Fall Along National Mobile was very successful.
City, is there something?
Engineering, like Jennifer said, very busy P&Z meeting coming up next week at several plats, and Palladium site plan is in. Also, the Golden Chick pole sign is in. We'll see that also. And then just kicking off the new budget year, we've got several projects scheduled. Dallas Street water line extension. They are finishing up the trail and Marshall water line, and so just trying to stay ahead and keep everybody in service.
Pipe bursting?
Pipe bursting, pipe was run last week, and so we expect the pipe to start being delivered in the next week or so. So we start seeing the contractor on the ground. The water line contractor is scheduled to be in town starting November 1st. So
Start moving equipment in?
The line's going across, tapping into the main line, or the Texas line going to the west side of town. When's that project start?
that's the November 1st, that's the water line for that county road. We're expecting November 1st was the agreed upon date with GTUA, the contractor, and the city.
Does that have a planned completion?
We have given them 8 months of actual construction time, so around the first, sometime in June is the current schedule. Just in time for the high water season, which is really what we needed, so.
Okay.
City manager.
Mayor, council, let's see, sorry, I didn't ask Anita if she had anything. Okay, all right. Mayor, council, sent you out the sales tax report from the comptroller for last month, 91,000 is what came in. Actually, it's important, it's last month's sales tax, but it's important this month. So the October sales tax is 91,000. That's 18 grand more than this time last year. So we're doing fairly well and staying healthy as far as sales tax is concerned. Golden Chick hadn't called for their final punch list yet. They've just asked what the punch list is. One of the things is the green screen. Drainage plan is still an issue with engineering. Special use permit on the pole sign, because TxDOT came back and said, no, you may not put the pole sign in our right of way. Correct? Let's see, O'Reilly's is moving along really well. They've already got they haven't got the front of the sign in because it doesn't look like they've got the lights installed, but they've got the base of the sign on the front of the building installed. Let's see, CDC and EDC have been, CDC meeting was last week, very productive. EDC meeting, had a special meeting last week to discuss property involving Longhorn Mechanical. We're nearing, EDC's been working very, very hard, very well, in negotiating out a good contract with Longhorn, and it appears that getting pretty close to coming to a final agreement with them on the property, so that's exciting. Retain that business here in town. plus get them in a more appropriate location. Stone Hollow Homes ripped the front off the old doctor's building on the end of Marshall, down there in the Verizon building, and Steve White and PD responded and initially, and then Steve and his guys put up the cones and the safety fence, because there wasn't a concern of the face of the structure being unstable, and the owners showed up, contacted him. He said that his crews were gone for the day, so Steve's time, as well as the PD officers that responded, we put that into an invoice to present to them whenever they come in for the final approval on the building, because the way they went about it, and the way they left the sidewalk, the structure, and the parking spaces in front was highly inappropriate. But it's Mr. Burnett has been in communication with us, sent me an update on what they're planning on doing here in town, especially the lots south of elementary, the 140 lots, and also participating with Horton on the amenity center and the all-weather court and the walking trails around Georgetown that are stated in the original PD. Let's see, Horton also supposed to get back to me on some screening issues and possibly get something accomplished on Kelly, but I haven't got anything yet. Chief Barnes will probably give you an update now. He's back on National Night Out. Appeared to be successful. Did have a concern about the bounce houses, and that'll get addressed this next year. Fall Roll this past Saturday saw quite a few of the members of council out there, with the exception of one athlete from Tech going and visiting his alma mater. And I didn't catch Billy, but I'm sure Billy came through just like he always has every year. Fall Roll appeared to be a success. We did have some hiccups with the parade, and those will be addressed this next year. However, trash was effective, vendors were effective, car show was sparse, but hopefully it'll be healthy this next year. But overall, looked like it was attended well, and seemed like it was a success for the chamber, and as well as showcasing the city. So I'm glad the Fall Roll went well. Can't think I'm forgetting anything. Can we go back to Chief Shimon? Okay, that's, unless you have a question for me, I think that's about everything. All the cylinders I can fire on right now. Anybody have any questions about anything they've seen or something that's out of miss or out of order? Okay. It's yours, Mayor, if you want to go back to Chief Barnes. Chief Barnes.
It sounded like the city manager pretty well covered National Night Out. It was a great turnout. Just remind everybody, we got in October, we'll have Halloween, so there'll be a lot of kids out. We'll have extra patrol out for that night also. Other than that, everything's good.
I won't say that the Fall Roll was a success. Mr. Baker tried. It was a great success. And that's a big community effort. I mean, chiefly, it's the Chamber of Commerce that puts that all together. But every branch of city government gets involved with that. The fire, police, public works, all of them in a big way. So, and the library. And then we have all these community organizations like KBAP, which so it was a great thing. And I also want to mention, we have an event coordinator now for the Chamber of Commerce, and she had a lot of good success. And her name is Connie Christmas. She did a very good job helping make the chamber with all that together. And liaison with the city departments. So it all came on very well. And so I think it's time to adjourn. Does anyone want to make a motion to adjourn? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Sure. I always forget something.
I'd like to call Chief Womack. She'd like to give us an update on KBAP's activities for the year and potential grant. Just summarize it.
And I can give a few statistics that are pretty impressive. Our membership this year is at 1,080%. How about that? We've done 972 educational honors to this point. We count to the end of the year. Our funds that we've raised are about 752%. and more stuff coming. So the big grant, the 110,000 is not working until December 31st, and we're going to apply until the end of February. But we'll see what we've done. We have a chance.
I don't know if you'll have a figure, probably we can handle for this, but I know that the KDAB offers a lot of community service hours in high school students. too.
Yes, it's available if they come. Some, we've had some, but not as many as you would think. But there's a lot they need to make a
I have a question of Mr. Jaska, maybe, I'm not sure if this works this way or not, but, did I hear something about the brick things that they did in the park? That they were put in some of them, or
Yes, we put
the
in-
process of putting some in, or something like that?
So far, we've put in 41 new bricks. We just got in another 43 to be put in. There's a little bit of issue of how they were put in as far as the type of sand under it or whatever it is. But that's being addressed. That's going to be fixed to where everything's,
So if you bought
Smooth
one,
and
you
level.
should be able to go over and find it now?
I'm sorry, what?
If you bought one the first time it was sold, or then you should be able to find one now?
Out of that first 41, they're all out there.
Okay.
The next 43 are at Colonial Monument in Denison, which we've got to go down there and pick them up and
Okay.
put them in there. The bricks are still for sale if anybody wants them. It's an excellent fundraising project. Plus, it gets everybody in the community involved that wants to, put your name, family members' name, organization, whatever it is. It's cool.
That's all.
Okay, now it's, thank you to the chair. Your motion. Let's get a second. Okay, I'll second, all in favor? Time I have is 7:19 PM. Thanks. Thank you.